Hello, my name is Jason Nikoff, and I am a professor of agronomy and soil science at Tennessee State University. And my counterpart on this presentation is Dr. Tom Broyles, and he is an associate professor in 4-H youth development. We're both the extension program leaders for ANR and 4-H, respectively. And our presentation, our poster presentation, is focused on a drone program that we've been working on for the past few years. And so to start off with, this program is something that we've been working on and focusing on two components. We've been focusing on the adult agriculture side as well as the youth side of using drones. And so it's important because drones have been around for a while, and farmers have the option to use them in their business if it's something that they feel is going to be useful to them and is going to provide them with a good return on investment. And from the youth standpoint, being able to have some technology incorporated into learning to help with understanding STEM concepts and to help improve science and math skills is something that's always useful, and drones are a unique way to do it because it's something that a lot of youth are interested in, and some of them even have some themselves. So the objectives of the project itself is focusing on those two components, the adult and the youth side. So for the adult side, we were looking at developing a curriculum and that focuses on the different uses for drones in agriculture. And then also a hands-on demonstration for the adult participants so that they can learn about drones and actually see what it's like to fly one. And then the second objective is focused on the youth, where developing a STEM-based curriculum that focuses on things like drone safety and flight theory and flight techniques, and then again implementing a hands-on learning activity to help instill some of those things. And with the project, as I mentioned, we started the project in about 2019. We received funding from a USDA NIFA capacity building grant in 2018. And over that period of time, on the adult side of the program, we've been able to reach out to over 250 farmer participants, and that's even with COVID. We were able to meet in person and have those relevant hands-on experiences. And you can see in the image just an example of some of the work that I did with the adult side of this program. And then with the youth, Dr. Broyles led the youth side of the program and was able to meet with about 280 youth throughout the state to talk about some of those different STEM related activities and to engage in some of those hands-on activities on the youth side. The primary focus of this poster presentation, though, is on the adult side of this program. And so the results that I'm going to talk about and discuss are all from that area. So the ANR impacts, these are essentially from the evaluations that were performed following all of the different workshops that were led for adult ag producers. And so the first table that I've got here focuses on their awareness. So I was interested in identifying how aware farmers were about drones before the program, before our workshop, and then after the workshop, how aware they were on different aspects of using drones. And so you can see some of the data there, and combined across all of those different questions, we have this value. So 3.2 versus 4.1. So it increased significantly. Essentially their awareness increased significantly. A 3.2 on our scale, they were unsure about their answers to all these questions. Whereas a 4, basically they agreed with those statements, which is what we were hoping for. One thing that I just want to note, the first statement was actually reverse coded. We expected the value to decrease. because we expected a more negative answer or a disagreement with that particular statement, but the other statements we expected them to agree with. So in the analysis, that was all taken into account. But I think that first question is kind of one of the most important conclusions that I got from the adult program, is that originally folks were not sure if drones were difficult to fly. And so you can see that by the 3.0 that's identified before the program. And then after the program, it dropped to 1.8. And so that's related to disagree. So a 2 would be disagree. So they disagreed with that statement. And it was a significant increase, and that's really good that we were able to see that. On the whole, across the program, about 71% of participants realized that drones weren't as difficult to fly as they originally thought. And I think that that's really important because it identifies a barrier, a potential barrier for a lot of our small farmers to be able to get into using drones. They may be hesitant at first because they may just have this idea that they're difficult to fly. And it could be from flying a cheaper form of drone, which the cheaper ones that are $100 or less, those are really difficult to keep in the air. They crash a lot, and so if they had any sort of experience with those, then that could cause them to not even think about trying to use a drone on their farm. Or it could just be that they don't know anything about drones. They just know that they're highly technical piece of equipment, and the prices may be prohibitive, but being able to use something that works well, that is not too expensive. So the drones that I was using in the program were about $500, so they were a little bit more reasonable than some of the larger drones that need sensors and those types of things. So that was one of the main conclusions from this presentation, is that we need more programs like this, because it's a very entry level, sort of very simple sort of program, but getting folks to at least fly a drone for a few minutes, I noticed that they would start thinking about ways that they could use it on their farm. They would identify a certain area of their land that was difficult to get to and it always flooded, or something along those lines that they could really envision themselves using the drone for, once they realized that they could actually fly it. It wasn't that difficult. It was, it had a lot of good uses. And then the last piece here, this other table that I've got, focuses on the interest of individuals. And so we wanted to look at their interest before and after the program. Again, there was a significant increase in their interest. It ranged from originally from about a 3. There was a unsure about some of those things, and then they increased to almost a 4. So they just about agreed with those statements in the end. And these statements included things like whether they would purchase a drone in the next couple of years, or use certain types of software, and talking about other farmers and those types of aspects, all related to that interest question. So suffice it to say, these types of programs are really important for being able to talk to farmers about the program, about drones, about how they can be used on the farm. Being able to relay pricing information, of course, is really important. That's what a lot of the farmers are interested in. And so the we also had some other outputs. You can see there were some videos that were developed, and we had some fact sheets, also some trade publications, and then some awards from a few different organizations: the American Society of Agronomy, the National Association of Agricultural Agents and Specialists, and our local Tennessee Association of Agricultural Agents and Specialists as well. And so that's basically the main conclusion, that these programs can be really useful in other states as well. And so we're always open to providing any sort of information about how we ran our program or our workshop, and our information is available. So don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we could collaborate or provide any sort of information that folks might be interested in having. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.